Hello my friends and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm of course Kevin. Today I'm going to take a little break from talking about hobbies or showing me painting minis or whatever. So we'll talk a little bit something that happened to me personally a couple of weeks ago. So any of you, I may have shown him on this channel, but I know I've also shown him on the Tabletop Jones channel. My cat Logan passed away, and I just wanted to do a little tribute to him because he was a great cat. For any of you who have had pets out there, you know that they become a very integral part of the family. I mean, a lot of times they bond with you. Whenever you're around, they're like almost joined at your hip. So just give you a little background on Logan. When we first got him, of course, I was also still married. We had already had a cat. It was a white calico named Rose that I had gotten from one of my sisters, and my ex-wife called me up while I was at work one day, and she says, "Oh, I just saw these great cats on Facebook. Facebook from someone I know who rescues animals." And I was like, "All right, let me stop you right there." Now, I told her, I says, "Listen, I'm not opposed to having another cat. We've had two cats before. That's not a big deal to me." I said, "I want you to think about Rose." I says, "If you think she'll discover her maternal instincts and, be nice and nurturing and maybe, help take care of the cat, by all means, we'll go get him." I said, "But if you think he's going to use him as a chew toy," I said, "you may want to rethink that." So she's like, "Oh, all right, all right." And then, I wasn't sure where it was going to go after that. And then the next day, she didn't say anything to me after I got home. And then the next day I'm at work and she calls me up and she's like, "Yeah, as soon as you get home, we're going to get the cat." I was like, "Okay, okay." So, we go get him and he was a couple weeks old. He was really, really tiny. Literally fit in the palm of my hand. I've had that happen with cats that I've had before I lived with her. And so he was like really, really small. And, we get him, we bring him home, first thing we do is we show him to Rose, and what does she do? She growls. She growls at him, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun," and so things go day to day with the two of them, eventually he did grow to be big enough to hold be able to hold his own with her. Not that she ever attacked him, but just the growling, like glaring at him all the time. It's like if he was on my lap, she would noticeably look pissed off and stuff like that. But you know, and then they eventually learned to coexist, and he would have his little kitten moments running around, and of course she would look at him as if to say, "What is wrong with you?" It's always a nice trip to have two cats. But then unfortunately, things going on for quite a few years. But then unfortunately, Rose got sick, and we had to, she had passed away. We had to we had to make a hard decision, and but we made it. And then that was around the time, I think during the divorce process. But we always kept things amicable, and so we all got together as a family, and you know, did what we had to do for Rose. So but we always we still had Logan in the home, so it didn't really hit as hard, because we still had a cat in the house, and he kind of, I don't know how cats are when one cat passes away. He didn't noticeably look sad. He may have missed her, presence and all that, but I think he kind of enjoyed having the whole house to himself for as long as he did. He'd run around the house. He'd climb up door frames like he's freaking King Kong, and he would make it all the way to the top, you know. And I looked at him. I was like, "What are you gonna do? Start swatting at biplanes?" For any of you who know the original King Kong movie. And so he had a great. I would like to think that like to hope and think that he had a great life here. The kids adored him. It's like he would fight me every time I tried to pick him up, but whenever the kids pick him up, he just go limp, and I look at him and go, "You traitor." um, and he had to unfortunately live through the whole ordeal of the separation with the divorce and all that, and having the kids, not be here for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks at a time, because that's the arrangement that we made. The kids are with me for 2 weeks, then with her for 2 weeks. So like I said, we kept everything amicable, kept everything fair. One thing I will say though, and this brought me a great amount of fun. Is that she would come over and Logan would attack her feet, like a lot. So I would just look and say, "Oh, who says you can't train a cat?" And for anybody out there, if you've seen the movie Grumpy Old Men, that old movie from years ago with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, that's where that line's from. Yeah. So if you know it, let me know in the comments if you remember it. But anyway, so yeah, so he would just have as much. He looked like he had as much fun as he could have. He was always chasing around things around the house. Like he'd have his little toys and whatnot. And it's like with him, growing up, as he grew up, I should say. One thing he was obsessed with was straws. It's like if we went to Dunkin' Donuts and I come back with an iced tea, he would sit there and stare at me until I gave him that straw. So we have a throw rug in the living room, and I can imagine how many of them are still under there. I haven't cleaned under there yet. Yeah. So, and what else do we? Yeah. Oh, also because usually for ice cream I usually get Klondike bars, and every time I had one, I had to crumple up that wrapper and let him play with it. Every time, just about. But yeah, so and everything seemed to be going great. It's like, but then it's like really, really suddenly. It's like one day he was chasing around everything in the house, and then the next day he wasn't. And I just thought maybe he was tired that day, and then next thing I know he wasn't really eating, and then wasn't drinking anymore, and just snowballed to the point where I had to make another hard decision. That I made it, but it hurt a lot. So yeah, so just wanted to do a little tribute to my my little pal, so to speak. And I never say I own a cat because I never feel a sense of ownership. I always say I live with a cat, and he was good to live with. I mean, one thing how I know that he was pretty much bonded to me was whenever I worked overtime because I work I'm just gonna say it, I work for Verizon, and for a while there we were getting a good amount of overtime, but when it was my group's week, and I would come home like really really late, and he would basically be waiting there when I walked in the door, as if I'm a kid coming in after curfew. And it always seemed like always worked out that week was when it was just me and him, like the kids were with their mom. So yeah, but anyway, so yeah, so now it's just me in the house, and hardest thing I had to do was to start putting these things away. So it's tough. I don't know when I'm gonna get myself another cat. Right now, it's just not the right time. It's not only the fact that it's so soon after losing Logan, but there's also the personal reasons that I won't get into. I don't want to just air all my personal crap out on the YouTube land. So anyway, I have a few pictures of Logan that I'm going to share just to have a nice little moment of silence for him. And I was just going to say for right now, thank you for indulging. If you're watching, just thank you for indulging me and letting me talk about a cat who is very near and dear to me. All right, enjoy the pictures. enjoy those pictures. And just know that, you know, if you, I just want you, anybody out there who has a pet, just know, you know, it's always good to have a pet in your life. At least that's how I feel. If you can't for whatever reason, you know, just, I mean, you know, do what you must, I guess. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, thank you for indulging me in this. Thank you for watching. You know, as always, so pretty soon, I mean, usually when I do these videos, I do them in clusters, so I will have a bunch of regular videos coming out along with this, but I just wanted to get this out first. All right, so thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and have a great day.